What's up, Odooers, and welcome back. Missed you so much since our last chat. Sometimes equipment or work centers require regular maintenance to prevent them from breaking down. This is called, you guessed it, preventative maintenance, which I can schedule using the recurrent maintenance feature. When creating new maintenance requests, we can use recurrent maintenance to schedule the creation of identical maintenance at regular intervals. Let's jump into our Odoo database now so we can see how. All right, here we are on the main dashboard of the maintenance app. First thing we need to do is create a new maintenance request, and to do so, we're just going to click on maintenance on the top and then maintenance requests, followed by clicking new in the upper left-hand corner. Now for this maintenance request, let's say we have a handsaw that needs to be sharpened once a week to keep it sharp. So in the request field, I'm going to enter sharpen handsaw. Now in the equipment field, I'm going to click into it to show the drop-down menu, and then we're just going to click on handsaw. Now we want this to be sharpened on Friday at 4:30 p.m. so it's ready for work first thing on Monday morning. On the schedule date field to the right, if we click into that, a pop-up calendar appears, and here's where we can select the upcoming Friday. And down at the bottom, I can enter the minute and hour the request should be processed. These fields use a 24-hour clock, so I'm going to enter the values of 16 and 30. Which corresponds to 4:30 p.m. Finally, we'll just click apply to schedule the date at this date and time. Now, let's make this maintenance recurring. First, we're going to change the maintenance type from corrective to preventative. And when we do, this causes a recurrent checkbox to appear here on the right, directly below the duration field. Now, if I tick the recurrent checkbox, a repeat every setting appears. Here I can specify how often and for how long the maintenance request should repeat, and by default, requests are scheduled to recur once a week forever. Now I can enter any number here in the first field, and then in the second field, I can change this to days, weeks, months, and even years. But we'll change this back to weeks. And in the third field, I can change forever to an until field, which causes a fourth field to appear where we can enter another date when we'd want this maintenance to end. As I mentioned, we want this maintenance request to occur once a week and forever. So we're going to change this from until back to forever. And just like that, we've scheduled a recurrent maintenance request. Now let's navigate to maintenance at the top and then maintenance calendar to see how these requests have been scheduled. First, in the drop-down menu here in the top left, we're going to change this from week to month. And when we do, we're able to see the maintenance requests have been scheduled for each Friday. For each request after the current one, a number is attached so we know how many repetitions it is after the upcoming request. For example, the second request has a +1 tag after its title. This tells us that it's the first repetition of the current request. You should also know that deleting any of these requests will delete every other request. For example, let's use the right arrows to show the calendar for next month. And if we click into any of these requests and select delete, every request will be deleted. However, if I return to the form by clicking edit, I also have the option to untick the recurrent checkbox. Doing so will delete every request except for the one that's scheduled to be completed next. Now, let's see how to manage requests from the Kanban view, which I can access by navigating to maintenance and then maintenance requests. Despite the fact that multiple requests are scheduled for our maintenance calendar, only the next upcoming request appears on the Kanban view. However, let's see what happens when we complete this request. I can drag and drop it into the repaired section, which marks it as done. Now, when I reload my screen, the next scheduled request appears in the new request column. I can tell it's the next request because the date on its Kanban card is 1 week ahead from the previous one. This will continue to happen each time we complete a recurrent maintenance request. And that's all I've got for you today, folks. You now know how to create and manage recurring maintenance requests. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.